Welcome to part 4 of the May 30th fighting workout. I've been discussing about questions regarding extreme elements of my workouts and things I've done in the past. To be fair and as a disclaimer, I am not recommending that you do any of these things I discuss in this video, and I am not responsible for whatever you do for whatever reason. The things we discuss here can be extreme or involve some extreme elements, and your body may respond in different ways. So whatever you do, be wise and informed about it. The wrists, the hands, these are very important parts to condition. Did I treat any other body parts the same way? Specifically, I would definitely say the feet and ankles. And because I've seen a lot of people blow out their knees, I did a lot of strengthening of the muscles relating to the knee. So yeah, basically we're talking about conditioning the leg in all its dynamic function. I also targeted the groin area because I felt a lot of action there from kicking. I targeted the hips and I extended that to the core and the upper body, the lats. At this point, of course, we realize all our parts are important. So let me get back to some details of what I did. I used to do a decent amount of camping or hiking in the woods, the forests, and I would usually do running during these outings. A long time ago, I read in a mountain climbing book that climbers would run on the uneven surfaces of rocks and boulders and stuff in order to strengthen their legs, specifically the feet and ankles. That felt right to me, so I started doing that kind of thing during camping and hiking. It didn't take long for me to work on equivalents closer to the home, so I ran on all the uneven parts and changing heights and dimensions of an area. I also did steps and hills. During these activities, I would occasionally roll my ankles or stumble, twist, and I noticed that I handled it without any problems right there or later on. So I started sets and drills of twisting my ankles into certain angles and positions. I'd hold them there for a few seconds or so, doing reps, or I'd walk around in that twisted angle. I did similar things for my knees. Keeping in a normal knee facing forward position, I would push lateral force on my knees, trying to push them inwards. I would also twist so that I applied force from the inner side of the knees pushing outwards laterally. And I practiced all of the usual directions of hyperextension. A cool exercise I did was swinging the heavy bag and letting it smash into my knee. But I'd let the bag hit the knee during different knee positions, so it wasn't always me ready and tensing up to take the hit. Some things I did for the balls of the foot, the heel, the blade of the foot, and the toes was things like striking a wall. Specifically for the toes, I did a heavy pressure stretch, kind of grinding the bottom of my toes, the pads, and allowing that to spread my toes out. I did reps of toe bends and extensions. I also did some ballerina stuff of trying to stand up on my toes. I remember I used to bang my ankles on some hard objects or a wall because banging the ankles was usually very painful, so I wanted to be familiar with that kind of pain. Just like my hands and wrists, some of these exercises backfired, and I ended up sore and tender. The bottom of the foot certainly can bruise and swell up. I used to get this tender swelling mass or lump on the bottom of my foot. Maybe it took a week or so to calm down. Whacking the top of my foot too hard would stiffen up the whole foot real bad. There's all those small bones and stuff, and not a lot of skin to pad for protection. Yeah, the knee can be very painful if it gets whacked good and hard, so I practiced whacking my knee. Similar to the stick I had to whack my shins, I'd also whack my knee a bit. I'm pretty sure it was mostly to get familiar with the pain. I can't really recall any other physical improvement it did for me. I did lots of squats of all different kinds. I did stuff on one leg. I worked out on sand, in pools, and the ocean. I did heaps of stretches. I'd mix in sessions of isometric stuff. Of course, I worked on the calves and hamstrings too. A long time ago, I read about doing exercises that involved many groups of relating body parts at once for that activity or exercise. I felt that made a lot of sense, was practical, and could involve movements that I actually already did for my fighting training. So I tried to do a lot of that as well. In my training, all my Taekwondo sparring was without equipment. In class, we did the classic conditioning of striking and blocking each other's upper and lower body. I liked the medicine ball drills, but I had it thrown at any part of my body. Well, that's it for the May 30th session. Maybe you found something interesting. Maybe you confirmed what you already know and do. At least we're sharing ideas and supporting each other. one big family through the good and bad times. We keep improving. I can't be certain that some of these things did anything or showed any improvement, but that's what I did.